Hello, my name's Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. I get a lot of ideas from Etsy or Pinterest. This idea was done in a very, very tiny way, and I wanted to try and figure out how to do it in a large way. I wanted to, as they say, shop my stash. I have lots and lots of fat quarters, so the first thing I did was take a look at all my fat quarters and decide which ones to use. For my project, I need 16 fat quarters. So I tried to find 16 that were very similar or would look good together. I don't have a bundle big enough to do all 16 from one bundle. Once I chose my 16 fat quarters, I pressed them flat. I like to press with the wrong side of the fabric up. It makes it easier for me to see the creases. I also use a spray bottle of water, which you can see on the side. I don't like to put water in my iron. Next, I had to check the measurements of all of these fat quarters. I'm using fat quarters from 2 different lines. And to be perfectly honest, 2 fat quarters in the same line may be slightly different in their measurements. I knew that I had enough for each fat quarter to measure 17 by 20 inches. Lining this fat quarter up on my mat, I did trim it to 20 inches long by 17 inches wide. For the 17-inch cut, I folded the fabric in half, lined it up on my cutting mat, and then I cut a line, a nice straight line at 8.5. Next, I cut my remaining fat quarter into 4 equal sections measuring 10 inches by 8.5 inches. Of course, as soon as I finished cutting my first fat quarter, I realized, wait a minute, there's a way easier way to cut these. It was much easier just to fold the fat quarter twice and cut out 8.5 by 10-inch rectangles. Since I'm going to be making giant 4 patches, I did want to split these up into lights and darks or lights and mediums. Once I did that, I sorted all my fabrics into 4 patches just by pairing up lights and darks and mediums opposite corners on the 4 patch. I will just be stitching these 4 patches together, first the top 2 and then the bottom 2, and I am going to chain piece this whole thing. Once I get my 4 patches together, we're going to be playing with the black fabric to make my final block. I'm going to have 16 total blocks. So here you see I'm starting with those top 2 squares, or actually they're rectangles, and I'm going to stitch those right sides together. I'm stitching them on the longer side, which in my case is a 10-inch seam at about 1/4 of an inch. Now, I want to point out that you can mix and match. You can do this scrappy. You could do it in 2 colors. And the beauty of this little method is you can use any size of rectangle you want. And I will explain that in a little bit. After I finished the top 16 pairings, I started on the bottom 16 pairings. And like I said, I just kept chain piecing. Once I separated all the chains, the 16 bottom 2 and the 16 top 2, I started assembling the 4 patch. And all I'm doing here is nesting that center seam. Once I finished putting all these 4 patches together, I took the time to press these units flat. Next, I measured my finished 4 patch to see what my next step was going to be. My 4 patch at this point measured 16.5 inches by 19.5 inches. I want to add my black fabric to the shorter side, that 16.5 inch side, to make it equal 19.5 inches. Well, I've got 3 inches difference right now, but if I add 2 pieces of fabric, one on either side, I'm going to have to take into account a 1/2 inch for seams on both sides, not just one side. I finally had to draw this out on paper to make sense to my brain. I've got an unfinished size of 16.5. I've got an unfinished size of 2-inch strip on both sides. Now, if I take that total, that's 20.5 inches. From that 20.5 inches, I'm subtracting a 1/2 inch seam allowance on both sides, so a total of 1 inch. And that gets me to my 19.5 inch unfinished size that is going to match the longer side. And the result is going to be a square. And to make this work, your end result, no matter what size you decide to make this block, it needs to be square. In my stash, I recently cut a bunch of 2.5 inch black strips, and I only need 2 inches, but I didn't want to have to trim some more 2-inch black strips, so I just decided I'm going to use 2.5 inch strips and cut them down to size when I'm done. So what you see me doing here is taking my 2.5 inch by width of fabric black strips, and I'm stitching 1 to each side, and 1 strip is enough for 1 block. So I'm going to need a total of 16 of these strips to sew down on both sides of my block. I do like to chain piece, so I pieced down the right-hand side of each 4 patch first. Then I broke the chain, I flipped these units around and stitched that black strip on the opposite side. I pressed those black strips nice and flat. Then to get my block squared to 19.5 inches, I just needed to trim to 1 3/4 inch black on each side. Once I had all 16 of these blocks, nice big 19.5 inch blocks, trimmed, I laid out this quilt on the floor. And the only thing you have to do when laying out this quilt is make sure the black strips, or whatever color you're using, it doesn't have to be black, make sure they're going opposite ways for each block. Now it's just a matter of sewing the 4 blocks for each row together, and then sewing all 4 rows together to make this finished quilt. And these blocks are super easy to sew together. There's no matching. The only thing to be aware of is that you are sewing a side with a black strip together, right sides together, with a side that does not have the black strip. As you can see, my little pile on the left over there, I didn't really mark the rows. I just picked them up in order left to right, top to bottom, so I have a stack of 16 blocks sitting over there, and I'm just picking up the top 2 and stitching them together and continuing on until I had all of the pairs joined. Once I had all the pairs joined, I separated that chain, kept them in the exact same order, and then I sewed 2 pairs together to make a row. When sewing my rows together, the only thing I had to pay attention to was nesting the seam where 2 rows came together. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm just nesting that seam on the fly as I go. You may certainly use pins or clips to hold these rows together and make sure you get everything lined up the way you want before you stitch the seam. Once I had the top 2 rows and the bottom 2 rows together, all I had to do was put the first and second together with the third and fourth to complete my quilt. My quilt shifted on me on this last seam, and I did have to pick out a little bit of it to straighten it out. Clips or pins would have solved that problem before it happened. If you are enjoying my channel, I invite you to subscribe and click that bell icon so you will get notified when I post new content. Now this finished quilt is pretty amazing to look at. I just love it. I love the bright colors on mine, but you can make this in any colorway. Just those 2 contrasting strips on either side and making sure you have a square block and doing that little turn one way, turn the other way, it makes such an interesting quilt. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I do hope to see you back again real soon.